Self-optimization.
Optimization is stealing our lives.
This is how you level up.
Wake up at the same time.
Cool. So which one of them is lying?
It's not a lie, Dad.
Because right now, the internet's got two religions going at once. One says optimize every second of your wasting your life. The other says optimizing is why your life is wasted. And they're both pretty much sure of themselves.
Has my life been wasted?
There's a name for this anti-optimization movement called grind slop. The idea that self-improvement lost the plot or that it was garbage from the start. And look, some of that critique is dead on. I agree. Some of this got a little silly. Step trackers, cold plunges, 5 a.m. club, meditation, journaling.
So just like busy.
It became a second full-time job on top of the side hustle you're already supposed to have.
These are side hustles.
I've been both a rudderless, angry cynic and a self-improvement junkie.
The first step in self-improvement.
And as of today, I'm happy to say I would be completely lost if I didn't use many of these self-improvement optimization tools. So let's dig into this debate. And later, I'll tell you what a retired CEO told me, standing on a boat in Antarctica of all places, that I still think about today. But stay with me because I'll tell you why I lean closer to one side of this argument than the other. I'm Seth, and I am the recovering quitter. I'm not here to tell you grind slop is right. I'm not here to tell you it's wrong either. I just want to tell you where I stand because I've been the lost guy.
You're lost.
And I've been the guy who couldn't stop optimizing.
Are you ready to run? I have my playlist already.
And whatever I found in between those two, that's what actually works for me. So let's get back to that boat. Story time! My first year out of college, my family took a trip to Antarctica. Cue the privileged music here.
Yes, quite.
But my dad, in what I can only describe as a very sly parenting move, arranged for me to sit down with a man he'd met on this trip. Because he knew without telling me how lost I was. By the way, I studied fine art in college. Wonderful thing to study. Very difficult thing to build a career from. Unless you plan to actually be an artist, which I did not. I was just an artsy kid who graduated with a deep appreciation for art theory and no direction once outside the door. So this guy I met was in his 70s. He'd built a company from scratch, been a CEO, done the whole thing. And this man casually told me his story. How after college, he had no direction either. He packed a bag and moved to Lake Tahoe and spent an entire season operating a ski lift. Just bounced around, lived in it, experienced life away from the status quo.
Life experience. Really?
He got his head straight, and then after that, his career began. Everything clicked for him. I heard that, and I was like, that's it. That's what I need to do. My dad probably thought I would just go to Vermont for a ski season, but he was wrong. In 2005, me and my cousin packed bags and flew to Australia. No plan, no social media, no texting, lots of drinking, and we also got jobs bartending in Bondi Beach. Genuinely the greatest job I've ever had in my whole life. But we earned enough to fund the next 6 months through Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. It's the hallmark experience of my young adult life. I would not trade it for anything. However, I came back absolutely no closer to knowing what I wanted to do with this life. Turns out bartending in Bondi and backpacking through Cambodia does not quite prepare you for life for anything other than chasing women. So I just fell into jobs for the next few years. I was a talent agent assistant, marketing at MySpace. Yes, that MySpace. Always entertainment adjacent, never actually in it. Always at a desk I had no interest in sitting at. I felt like I was showing up to the wrong life every day and pretending to fit. It went on that way for a long time until it didn't. And that's when I started reading. Darren Hardy, Jeff Olson, Rob Dial, Mel Robbins. And for the first time in a long time, things started to make sense. Not because I became a different person overnight. I didn't. But because I finally had a framework for why I kept quitting.
You quit? Why?
Why I was angry at the world instead of being honest with myself. And I collected the tools to actually do something about it. So here's where I land on the anti-optimization debate. There's a real point buried in this grind slop backslash. People most likely to overdose on self-optimization advice are usually the people who least need it. The folks like you, who are on the brink of turning it all around. The ones already lying awake, running an audit on their own day. And if you're watching me, no one is watching.
Nobody's watching.
You have already trained your algorithm towards self-improvement videos. I know because my algorithm is a constant flow of self-help tips, stoicism quotes, how to be happy. You pour more optimization onto that and it doesn't build you up, it burns you out.
I'm burned out.
I've felt that. The morning routine that starts eating itself. The habit tracker that becomes another thing to fail at. So yes, some of this has gone on too far. I'll give them that. But you can change and you can be more efficient, effective, and have intention. The first book that cracked something open for me was Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect. The idea that small daily decisions stack and compound. That who you are in 5 years is just the sum of what you do on a boring Tuesday. That wasn't toxic optimization culture. That was a lifeline. I needed to hear that and practice it. I was drowning in self-pity. So it got the ball rolling, slowly, but rolling. Jeff Olson's The Slight Edge gave that idea of daily practice. Rob Dial showed me what radical responsibility actually looked like applied to real messy life. And Mel Robbins, I cannot stress this enough, put language to the emotional side of all of it. Owning your reactions, letting go of what you can't control. She really is a guru that I respect and admire. Working on yourself is imperative. We just don't talk about it. And now that it's a social anti-trend pariah, we still don't talk about it. Now it's considered tedious and taboo, which is why I'm talking about it here. The payoff I discovered from all this work and practice, I stopped caring what people think of me.
I don't care.
I don't care if a corporate junkie parent I see at drop-off looks down at me for what I do or my assumption of what they think of me. I don't care. And I didn't realize how much of my life I'd spent managing other people's opinions of my choices until the weight of that just lifted. That's real freedom. And it came directly from all this mental work. But I have a buddy who recently took a job at a company he thought people might judge him for. He didn't tell any of us for weeks. He's limiting himself by wondering what we think about what job he took. Dude, no one cares. No one cares what you do. So why do you? People are only concerned with themselves. So I don't do that anymore. And learning and practicing all these tools I talk about got me here. So here's where I land. A better question than does self-optimization work is what works for me right now? For me, I speak for myself. It was understanding that small things compound, that I was responsible for my own results, that the voice in my head telling me to quit wasn't wisdom, it was fear, that I could build a few daily habits and stop relying on motivation that was always going to run out. That framework didn't cancel the rest of my life. It didn't erase my summer on Bondi Beach or the 6 months through Southeast Asia. Those experiences are fundamental to who I am. I don't regret a single moment of them. They didn't delay my success. They built the person who was eventually ready for it.
I am ready.
What the mental work did was take all that living and stop letting it evaporate into desk jobs I had no business sitting at. It gave the life I've already lived somewhere to land.
Land! Solid land!
So take what works, leave what doesn't. You don't need to track your steps to have a philosophy. You just need 2 or 3 things that keep you moving on the days you don't feel like moving. And be gentle with that part of you that is still trying. The part of you that picked up that book, started the channel, made the plan. That part isn't the problem. That part is the whole point. Tell me in the comments where you land on all of this. Did you overdo it and burn out? Or did you need it and actually it helped you? I want to know which side of this you're on, and more importantly, what worked. So let me know in the comments. I'm Seth. I'm a recovering quitter. Now it's your turn.